So you remember I went on Tucker Carlson and I railed at the Democratic controlled government because they own the presidency, they have the Senate, they have the House, they can do whatever they want. And I said, why aren't they giving us $2,000 checks? No other country in the world is handling it like that. And so the next day I got an email from a Democratic rag letting me know they're going to do a hit piece on me. I told you about this. Remember, this guy says, hi, how are you? My name is Alexander. I said, Alexander Reed Ross guy. He says, I'm working on an article for the Daily Beast. I was wondering if you would answer a couple of questions about recent statements you made. Do you stand by your statement that the WHO was cautioning against lockdowns and that the COVID, they were. That's not my statement. That's their statement. I was repeating their statement. That's not my fucking statement. And that the COVID-19 restrictions were a conspiracy or tyranny. So I didn't say they were a conspiracy. They were tyranny. They are. If you lock down someone's business and you don't give them financial relief, that's called tyranny. Also, do you stand by your decision to invite Magnus Panvita on your show? So I responded, I said, good morning. I'm a pothead jagoff comedian who spent the last 25 years entertaining drunks in nightclubs. I stand by nothing I've ever said or done, and I'm not a respectable person. I sincerely appreciate you reaching out to me for comment. Most people who do hit pieces on me don't bother, so thanks. When I said that on the show, I said that our video about that article is going to get 10 times more views than that article. Well, the video we did got 255,000, over 250,000 views. So that's at least 10 times, probably 50 times more views than that stupid article in the Daily Beast. Well, here it came. It came out. There it is. It's called, he calls me the dirtbag left stars are flirting with the far right. So
flirting with
so when Joe Biden says I can work with the Republicans in the Senate, that's not flirting with the far right. That's not flirting with the far. When he says I can work with them and I could get them, that's not flirting with the far right. No. When Joe Biden gets rid of the $15 minimum wage to appease a far right winger like Joe Manchin, that's not flirting with the far right.
No, it's more than flirting.
You're conceding.
You're in bed together.
You're in bed with them. Exact. That's way more. But only YouTube pothead hosts does it matter if we're flirting. And then the subheadline is their podcasts and shows are full of boogaloos, deep state conspiracies, and even great replacement talking points. Which side is this again? So this is written by that guy who is such a smear artist that every article he ever wrote for the Southern Poverty Law Center had to be taken down. And they had to apologize.
Seriously?
Yes, that's true. I'll show you that in a second.
Wow.
That's 100% true. By the way, the dirtbag left stars are flirting with the far right. This is brought to you by Daily Beast. The Daily Beast are the folks who call Henry Kissinger a friend. Just wanted to let you know that. And by the way, I
wanted to say something.
I just want to say, this was my favorite hit piece that have ever been done about me because I came off looking like a fucking champion of the people. If you read the article, it's awesome. And B, that is one of the best pictures I've ever taken, and I can't believe they used it. I'm so happy. First of all, it's like from 20 years ago. I want to go hang out with that guy and buy him a beer. That's my new Jude Law. That guy, the former Jimmy Dore.
New Jude Law.
When somebody says, tell next time somebody tells me go fuck yourself, I'm like, I'm gonna. Look at that guy. That's before I shrank, Justin. Look how long my neck was. That's before I shrank. That's 5'10" Jimmy.
Yeah. I heard that story.
I was a handsome man. I used to be a handsome man, Justin. Damn.
The Old Town Hall.
Damn. So Secular Talk saw this article, and he goes, dumbest article I've ever read. Guilt by association, 12 degrees removed. Fake moral panic. Yeah, of course. By the way, that's the perfect Cliff Notes for this. That's all you need to know. You don't need to read the article. Just read Kyle Kalinski's tweet. That's the perfect Cliff Notes, and you know everything that's in it.
And just remember that Chelsea Clinton's on the board.
Oh, that's right. So the Daily Beast, who wrote this article, Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea Clinton, sits on the parent company's board of this rag. Yeah. So here's the tweet they sent out. Here's the tweet. And now the reason I'm showing you the tweet is several reasons, but it says playing footsie with the right is not a common thing on the is not a common thing on the neo-socialist left, but there's a subset of the latter group, a small but influential band, who can veer into legitimizing the talking points of the extremist right. I don't know if you see this tweet, but at the bottom, this is what's called being ratioed. There are more responses to the tweet than there are likes. That's on their own thread. That's on the Daily Beast's own thread. I didn't do that. They did that. Their own followers did that. That's kind of amazing. And Max Blumenthal says about the guy who wrote it, this guy Alexander Reed Ross. Max Blumenthal says, besides having his entire Southern Poverty Law Center archive removed for libelous screeds like this, Alexander Reed Ross literally works with right-wing Republicans, police spies, and DHS officials to push online censorship. So the guy accusing me of playing footsies with the right is literally working with Republicans, police spies, and DHS officials. Of course. Of course, that's how it works. Who's playing footsies with the far right again? Of course. Here's more Max Blumenthal. He says, this latest lie filled incoherent leftists are really fascist screed was commissioned by Noah Shachtman. So this latest lie-filled incoherent leftists are really fascist screed was commissioned by, so that's their thing. So if you get to the left of the Democratic Party, they're going to do this to you, Justin, soon enough. So if you get to the left of the if you get to the left of the Democratic Party, they paint you as a misogynist, a sexist, and an alt-right platformer or some kind of in cahoots with them. And that's what they did. I saw it happen to Joe Rogan. Now, Joe Rogan first endorsed Tulsi Gabbard, who was against the wars, and to the left of the Democratic Party because she didn't take any corporate cash and she was against the wars. And then he endorsed Bernie Sanders, and who's definitely to the left of the Democratic Party. And how did the Democratic Party and MSNBC, CNN, the Daily Beast, how did they all respond to Joe Rogan? He's a misogynist, he's a sexist, he's a transphobe, and he's a tool of the alt-right. That's what they do. If you get to the left of the Democratic Party, that's the playbook. That's exactly what they're doing to us here.
Yeah, the amount of people they name drop in this is wild.
That's that article, right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So this latest lie-filled, incoherent leftists are really fascist screed was commissioned by Noah Shachtman. That's the Daily Beast editor-in-chief, who wrote a loving tribute to Andrew Breitbart and whitewashed Breitbart News.
Wow. I'd like to read that.
Yeah, of course. When here it is. Here's the article. And there it is. How Andrew Breitbart hacked the media. How Andrew Breitbart, Matt Drudge's former right hand, infiltrated the media machine and fought the vast left-wing conspiracy.
Left-wing conspiracy.
That's from Noah Shachtman. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Who's playing footsies with the far right
projection.
again? Who's playing footsies with the far right again? Daily Beast, go ahead, Justin.
Oh, it's always projection. You know?
Of course. So Kurt Metzger tweeted out, just want to congratulate my friend Jimmy Dore on being awarded a Smeary from the Daily Beast. They don't just give these out to anyone. A team of fermented human shit hybrids has to spend literally minutes thinking up lies about each nominee. The Smeary Awards is the only award show that takes place before noon because, brunch. Anyway. And I love Ludwig says, Jesus, is that a picture of Jimmy 40 years ago? They can't find anything more recent. I'm like, I love that fucking pic. It literally was from 20 years ago, that picture. It was from some guy took pictures at me at the Ice House in Pasadena 20 years ago. And that's up at Getty Images. So whoever did that went to Getty, just picked a picture. I love it. I love that I don't have more recent Getty Images. I'm glad that. Here's what Michael Tracy says. The Daily Beast publishes an obscure geography. So by the guy who wrote that, he's a nobody. He's a guy who, when he actually did write something, the Southern Poverty Law Center had to take it down, retract it, and then apologize for because it was libelous. So Michael Tracy points out, Daily Beast publishes an obscure geography professor who thinks he has deep, unique insights into dangerous trends in internet political culture, but whatever danger he perceives stems from his status as a harebrained, obsessive crank. Hey, let's have that guy write an article. That guy's definitely qualified to write an article. How do they put it? Thus thou protest too much? Silent sinners scream the loudest? Honestly, this is a good article, and the people in it should be in trouble. That's a funny tweet. That's a good tweet.
Is that a joke?
Oh, that's not. Of course, that's not funny.
I think it is.
This
I'm just
honestly,
saying that I
honestly,
could
this is a
see
good
that
article.
being real.
Yes, he's right, though. Because in this time period, people
If
are
that's-
so ridiculous.
If that's real, then satire is dead. Because that is fucking brilliant satire.
If you scroll through Twitter,
And the people in this article should get in trouble. That's fucking funny.
like they're fighting for the people. They should be in trouble. They're anti-imperialist.
I know, right? I know.
Which means they're Russian stooges.
Yeah.
like
They're the people fighting for a minimum wage and Medicare for all and
Right.
to end the wars. There's something wrong with those people. Once again, this stems from some weirdo neo-lib interventionist upset about people opposing regime change in Syria. That's, very good, very well. So if you go against war, this is the kind of stuff they give you. They say, I got money from Assad. They say that. Remember that lie? I'm working for Assad.
Yeah.
Boy, if only I knew how to get money from Assad, I certainly would. Because it's certainly, that's probably cleaner money than Katzenberg money, I'm going to guess. This was written for people that identify as Cuomo-sexuals.
that's good. That's good. That story is.
Yes.
I need to report on that more.
You know who actually plays footsie with the right? Not just in rhetoric and core beliefs, but actual policy? Democrats, centrists, anti-Trump, Republicans, generally the entire U.S. political establishment. And unlike half the examples in this lazy hit piece, they're not joking.
Yep.
That's right. So when Barack Obama and Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi, and they all work with, I don't know, Bill Kristol,
Yeah.
because he doesn't like Trump, that's not playing footsie with the right? How about the fucking Lincoln Project?
Mhm.
What was that? Their podcasts,
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Their podcasts are shows full of boogaloos. The Daily G-Man is still trying to push this shit. LOL. Yes. If you are completely politically and digitally illiterate like me, this is very scary stuff. So that's
Yeah.
also funny, right?
Yeah.
That person's also joking, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Dennis says they're not flirting. They're sucking, fucking, and having a great time. It rocks. We're not flirting. The Bush family made its starting capital from working with the Nazis. This is true, by the way. I don't know if you know this history. Prescott, it was the Prescott Bush. The Bush family made its starting capital from working with the Nazis, and then Bush Sr. went around overthrowing leftist governments with Nazi help while working for the CIA. But a podcast called Come Town is the problem with America. They talked about those two. They talked about us, the Jimmy Dore show. I was the picture. I'm the lead story. I'm pretty. It's pretty
You're the
impressive.
lead.
I'm in the lead, and they talked about Chapo Trap House.
Yep.
I didn't know anything about Chapo Trap House until this article. So none of that stuff that I know about him now it could be true. But they did start calling them the Dirtbag Left. That started with Chapo Trap House. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know
until you
that.
said
I thought they just made it up for me in this article.
I knew that. I think I saw that on Twitter before.
Someone, Jake Flores came on the show and called himself the Dirtbag Left.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was him, but it's apparently it started with Chapo back in like 2016. According to this article. I don't know. Hey, the Daily Beast. Is Chelsea Clinton still on your mother company's board, or are you now an independent garbage source? Jimmy Dore is a fucking legend. I'll read that on my show. Thank you. That's a definite way to get your tweet. Call me a legend. It increases your chance of getting that tweet read on my show by about 1,000%.
As in, it's definitely going to make it out.
Yes. Anarchist professor of geography has some thoughts about how to remain distracted and not organize against the ruling capitalist elite. Because that's what's happening, Justin. We're organizing by class, right? So I don't look at you're a left winger, right winger, whatever you are. If you're in my class, if we're in the same class, that's how you have to organize, right?
Yeah.
Working class people have to organize together, and
That's true.
and that's what brings change, and that's what scares them. That's
Yeah.
what. Well, look when did they kill Malcolm X? When did they kill Martin Luther King? Right, and they started to advocate for everybody. And
Yep.
Martin Luther King was getting ready to lead a march on Washington for fucking jobs
Yep.
for everybody.
And they don't mention that part.
Malcolm X came. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not a scholar, but I've seen Malcolm X the movie. That's as far as my. I did read a book about Malcolm X too. So, but I'm pretty sure that when he came back from Mecca, didn't he realize that the white man wasn't our enemy and that we're all God's children, and that's when they killed him, right?
I think towards the end of his life, he was I think operating more so under that.
Yeah.
Ideology.
So that's as soon as you do that, scares the shit out of them. Class solidarity, and that's what they can't have, and that's when they put their tools in the media to come attack you. And they did that to me. All I did was interview someone. Interview. I didn't join the group. Didn't say I liked them. Nothing. I just interviewed them, and they did that to me. Joe Biden outright calls for unity with the right. That's a fact.
Yep. That's a fact.
That's a fact. The Daily Beast is finally getting to the root of fascism, which is when someone does a podcast with someone I don't like.
Yep.
The writer of this
that's
piece.
Joe Rogan too.
That's
Joe
right.
Rogan too.
The writer of this piece must have had a real hard time working on this since they couldn't just copy and paste press releases from the State Department. As a Molinist, Roganist, Leninist, that's funny, of the traditional Jonesian tendency, I'm worried that this article is too accurate and is totally blowing up our spot and giving away our strategies for taking state power.
That's good. That's it right there.
That's an
Because they'll never write about the situation that's going on right now and how this, bill that they just passed is not enough. But they'll spend their time writing this article.
They wouldn't write
Smearing people actually fighting.
That's right.
To get us in a better situation in this country. And
I don't know if I'm sure you noticed there was almost zero articles in the establishment press about force the vote. Even negative, because they know they couldn't even spin it negative because people would be like, fuck you, we want this.
Yeah.
It was amazing media discipline. Wouldn't you say it was amazing media discipline how little they didn't cover it?
Yeah.
Like MSNBC didn't cover it at all. CNN didn't cover it at all. Nothing. The Washington Post, where's Dave Weigel? I thought his beat is the progressive thing. He was given an order not to cover it, and so then Dave Weigel doesn't cover it because he works for Jeff Bezos, who says Biden just showered us with cash. And people don't realize that Dave Weigel, who works for the Washington Post to cover progressives, is a fucking Republican. Of course, a pro-war Republican. That's why Jeff Bezos tapped him to be the guy reporting on progressives. They don't want an actual progressive reporting on progressives. They want a tool of the establishment who's pro-war. That's why Dave Weigel is the Washington Post lead reporter covering progressives. Not because he's a good reporter or because he can actually write worth a fucking damn. It's because he takes orders. Willingly. Did you guys not read Manufacturing Consent? Dave Weigel has been groomed since fucking kindergarten to be the lead reporter for progressives at the Washington Post. Here's what Mark Ames says. If I ever have 3 articles fully retracted by the Southern Poverty Law Center, now I know there'll be a home for me at the Daily Beast.
Yeah. Wow. That's unbelievable that happened. What was in the article that that made it get retracted?
They smeared Professor Stephen Cohen, who was at the time our greatest living scholar on Russia, who actually was at the Camp David Accord.
Yeah,
that
Cohen,
guy.
I know that.
And so they smeared him as some kind of traitor, and they smeared Max Blumenthal and the Gray Zone, and it was all slander and libel, and it was so bad that they had to actually retract it and apologize, and they retracted everything he ever wrote for them. Yeah. Yeah. And now the Daily Beast is like, get that guy to write a story about Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
Get that guy. It's
Tell him
like
to come right for us.
and
We
if
like
you,
that.
If you read the article, it makes me look great. Did you read? First of all, I couldn't get all the way to the end. That article is so
I
poorly
only read
written.
some of it. I didn't.
It is so. It's not. It's not as like you're writing it. He's just like taking words and throwing it at the paper. That's the opposite.
Yeah.
What a
He like
shitty.
pulls up one tweet, provides no context.
No context.
So that's all. So if that's the first time you're reading about it, that's all you know about this person.
That's right.
And they're just name dropping, like Matt Taibbi, just name dropping all type of people, and that's literally what it is. It's just a smear. Like
It's just guilt by association. Hey,
Yep.
this guy you
Guilt
don't
by
like,
association.
this guy that we don't like retweeted a tweet of Jimmy Dore, so that makes Jimmy Dore the same as that guy. What?
Yep.
Jimmy Dore tweeted out war is bad. A right-wing guy liked that tweet. That makes Jimmy Dore a right-wing guy. That's what that article is. That's what that article is. But honestly, everybody's texting me like, holy shit, you look good in that picture. Everybody's texting me that. And that's all that fucking matters.
When it comes down to it.
Honest to God, I couldn't be happier because I'm really upset with how I look. Aging for someone like me is tough. And someone's shallow. And and so to see that, I was like, oh, thank God. Because when people do videos where they hate me, which there is a lot of those, a lot of people are obsessed with me on YouTube. And they always put an ugly picture of me on the thumbnail. And that's what hurts. It's the ugly picture. Because I'm not going to watch the video, but I am going to see the thumbnail, and that hurts. And they always put that thumbnail of me frowning. It's like after you turned 50, Justin, you're going to notice this. Gravity pulls the corners of your fucking mouth down. So now your set face is a fucking frown. Instead of then half the time when I smile, it's upside down. I'm like, what am I doing? I used to make fun of my friend David Feldman for having an upside down smile. I go, David, why are you doing that? Well, he was over 50 and I was 40. I didn't have it yet. Now I got it. You're going to get it. It's going to get everybody. See, look, just like,
it does.
see how it goes
gets
upside down?
everybody.
It sucks. I have to really smile to make a smile. Hey, everybody, this is the part where I tell you where all our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then this is why I tell you to join our premium program and get extra content, but nobody's got a fucking job. So just enjoy the video.